Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 6. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Whitney Ward. Well, after a tragic crash involving a Brooks seaplane over Lake Coeur d'Alene just last summer, those flights could begin operating again soon.
The family planning to take over the company has roots in North Idaho's aviation community. KREM 2's Ian Smay spoke exclusively with them today about plans to make their flights safer.
If all goes to plan, Brooks Seaplanes will have a new owner by the end of summer. The new owner plans on continuing the Brooks Seaplane tradition in North Idaho, but also has plans for some safety upgrades. Shane Rogers owns No Limits Aviation in North Idaho, and soon he'll also be the owner of Brooks Seaplanes.
You know, someday I'm going to buy this, and I figured it was going to be 20 years down the road. Things have changed, and because of circumstances, we were, had an opportunity sooner. So we did everything we could do, me and my wife, to purchase it, and that's where we're at. So
Rogers says he's been in talks with Ann Lunt, the widow of late Brooks owner Neil Lunt. Neil was one of the 8 people killed in last July's mid-air collision over Lake Coeur d'Alene, and he plans on keeping some of the traditions the family started, down to the type of aircraft.
So we'll have a Beaver back. I mean, a Beaver is just what's always been there for the most part and what everybody wants to see. So we'll have a Beaver there. We'll probably bring in some other aircraft very shortly after.
He also has plans for safety upgrades. He says the local aviation community has been working together to publish established routes over the lake so that people will know where other aircraft should be. Rogers also says his planes will have a device called ADS-B. It's a new type of equipment for the types of smaller aircraft that fly over Lake Coeur d'Alene. It transmits the plane's location to other aircraft and, in turn, receives the other aircraft's locations as well. All of this in the hope of making the local aviation community safer, a community dear to Rogers' heart.
I mean, raised my kids, really my kids were raised at an airport. We would exercise. All my kids have learned how to ride bikes at airports. We've done a lot, and I can go across the country and there's people at airports all around that welcome us with open arms.
Rogers also runs a program to introduce local middle and high school students to the industry. The program has more than 100 kids and has caught the eye of Governor Brad Little during a visit in North Idaho today.
And if we can get these kids started, some of them are junior high. We get these kids started, pique their interest working on an airplane here, pique their interest in flying. There's just lots and lots of opportunities in Idaho.
In North Idaho, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.
Tonight we now know the identities of the 3 victims who died in a head-on crash with a fire engine. That crash happened on Monday afternoon on Highway 395 near Loon Lake in Stevens County.
Tonight, KREM 2's Amanda Rowley is joining us in the newsroom with what we know about these young victims so far. Amanda?
Yeah, Mark and Whitney, the Washington State Patrol is still investigating this fatal collision, and the Stevens County coroner told me she plans to release the names of the 3 people who died in the crash tomorrow. However, the family of the victims confirmed their names with me today. Lisa Loudermilch is the biological mother of 19-year-old Jordan Anthony Loudermilch. He was in the car with Chance Wilbur and Jasmine Cogswell when they collided head-on with a Stevens County fire engine on Highway 395. Anthony's mother described all 3 as being teenagers, and all 3 died at the scene near Loon Lake. The 2 firefighters are expected to be okay, though. A GoFundMe account has been created for the memorial of Jasmine Cogswell. There is also a fundraiser for Chance Wilbur, but we have not been able to verify it with his parents just yet. Now, I just spoke with Jasmine's aunt, Sarah Craig. She shared with me how her family is doing and how greatly they will miss her.
Obviously, they're heartbroken, a lot of anguish, just the waves of grief. There's times where everybody's sharing memories, doing the things that you would do at a time like this. Jasmine was always a lot of fun, a lot of spunk, a lot of mischief. She and Jubilee would always find mischief of some sort. You knew they would. But also a really caring heart.
Now, Sarah also told me that her niece had already bought a card and Father's Day gift. Her family found it among her possessions following the crash. Jasmine bought him model trains to add to his collection. Her aunt says he truly treasures that last gift from his daughter. Now, Anthony's mother told me the family has created the Jordan Anthony Loudermilch Memorial account at STCU. Now, those funds will be used for his funeral. We have details on how you can donate to that account on KREM.com. Reporting in the newsroom, Amanda Rowley, KREM. KREM 2 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you very much. And as we switch gears now, talking about temperatures that are much cooler here across the inland northwest today. In fact, we could even see some rain by tonight.
Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Tom Sherry in the Outdoor Weather Center right now. Tom, it looks like it's all sunshine out there at this hour.
Yeah, a lot of the cloud cover has cleared out. You know, as we came into work today, we had cloudy skies that inhibited our daytime warming. We only got into the low 60s. We're tracking some showers that are to the east of us now, mostly into Montana. We could see a few showers here locally in the Spokane area Friday morning and then again into Saturday morning. Temperatures will be in the 70s the rest of this week and into Saturday, and then I think they're going to climb into the 80s on Sunday, and we could even get up to 90 degrees by the time Monday rolls around. Right now we're at 62 degrees, and I think really this is probably the nicest part of the day. So let's enjoy this, right, even though it's about 10 degrees below average. As far as rain is concerned, see the rain that I was talking about? North central Idaho as well as in areas of western Montana, but most of Washington State and the Panhandle dry. I think this rain that I'm talking about here is going to spread farther west. It will get portions of northern Idaho, but really it's just soaking rains for areas of western Montana. So at least the forests to the east of us in Montana and north central Idaho are getting plenty of rain today and again tonight. We'll look for an overnight low of 49 degrees tomorrow. I've got a chance of a few showers. Most of those I think are going to be to the east of us, but we could see a little something. We should warm temperatures up to 70, and I think by tomorrow afternoon it'll be much like we've got right now. The cloud cover should clear out. Chance of morning showers on Saturday. We're up to 76. 87 degrees right now is what the computer models are showing us on Sunday. Could hit 90 on Monday. I'll have a look at your 10-day forecast, all coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. Also tonight, some big news from the Washington COVID vaccine lottery. You're going to want to check your voicemail because lottery officials have already reached out to 248 presumptive winners of things like Seahawks tickets, Xboxes, even fishing licenses. So they left a lot of voicemails, and now they're encouraging people just to check and see if you might be one of those winners.
Still waiting for my call right now.
Same.
The governor's office also gave an update today about confusion on whether veterans are included in the vaccine database to be eligible for the lottery. Many veterans got their shots through a federal program, meaning their names were not included into the state's vaccine database. Our political reporter, Casey Decker, joining us live tonight. Casey, what answers did Governor Inslee provide today?
Well, Mark, Whitney, Inslee said that the state has been working to incorporate vets into this database for months, but that the military simply hasn't been able to provide the info that they need. Many veterans, of course, were vaccinated through the Federal Department of Veterans Affairs or Department of Defense, and their record-keeping systems are different from the Washington Department of Health. Now, the state has been able to get a raw number of how many vets have gotten shots, but not an actual list of names. So that means at least vets are being counted in that quest for 70% of people with at least one dose of the vaccine. Inslee said about 150,000 vets have gotten at least one dose. However, without the list of names, they aren't eligible for the incentive lottery. But the governor said today he's working to make sure vaccinated vets can get some prizes regardless.
We will provide an incentive program so that the Department of Defense folks and the veterans are in some incentive program. We are still figuring out the exact dimensions of that. We're still trying to get information from the federal government. It will be easier for us to administer this if they were able to give us that information. But if they are unable or unwilling, we will have probably a standalone program for our folks in the military and our veterans. They're owed that. We're going to make sure that they get that.
And one other update today about reopening. When we get to 70%, or just when we reach June 30th, whichever comes first, we know that everything will basically fully reopen. But tonight, Governor Inslee announced one exception. Large indoor venues that hold more than 10,000 people will have to stay at 75% capacity for the foreseeable future. In our part of the state, that basically only affects the Spokane Arena and the Beasley Coliseum in Pullman, but it means that the Spokane Shock and Chiefs and some WSU sports and concerts at the arena won't be able to completely fill up. Again, they'll be limited to 75% capacity. Now, the governor did not really provide any other update on COVID protocols or reopening, just to say we're getting closer to our goals. So if you aren't vaccinated, go get your shot, help speed up that process even more. Also, that first lotto drawing, as you heard earlier, it did happen last night, but we don't have any info yet on who won. Inslee did say, though, that the incentives seem to be working. There's been a spike in vaccine appointments since the lotto was announced. In the newsroom tonight, Casey Decker, Crime 2 News.
Casey, thank you very much. And just a reminder, there are several categories of prizes offered in the vaccine lottery, including cash, tuition assistance, tickets to sporting events, gift cards, airline tickets, and gaming consoles. The most coveted prizes involve cool, hard cash. There'll be 4 prizes of $250,000 each, and then one prize, a grand prize rather, of $1 million. Drawings will happen on Tuesdays in June. You need to have received at least your first vaccine to be eligible. Winners will receive a phone call, and then they'll have 72 hours to claim their prize. So for more information on Washington's vaccine lottery drawing today, just text the word lottery to 509-448-2000. And earlier today, Gonzaga men's basketball coach Mark Few spoke in support of Congress passing a national name, image, and likeness law so athletes can get paid, college athletes. Coming up after the break, we'll hear from Few on why he is very much in favor of college athletes making money.
And after several sports fans were kicked out of several sports games this week, we looked into whether teams can permanently ban bad fans. That answer when we come back.